I am Iron Man.
Thomas here with Much Props, going to give you another how-to video. The day is finally upon us. It is literally the day of my photo shoot for my Knights Templar Iron Man mashup. I know a lot of you have been anxiously awaiting this video to come out. I have a couple of things that I have procrastinated and left to build. So what I need to do is add a light to the shield, which a lot of you suggested that I should add. So I need to put that in and then build a cover for like the back of it so that it looks a little bit more like what everything else goes along with. And I also need to go ahead and make a strapping for my scabbard, which I haven't really figured out yet. But maybe looking at a couple of Google searches, I can figure out how they were actually done. I've got some leather and a couple of belts and things that I can probably use to get that knocked out of the way. So yeah, no time like the present. So my game plan for this video is to show you the last two bits of the build that I need to get done. Then I've got to pack up and get my stuff ready to go. So I'll kind of give you some behind the scenes, I guess, of the photo shoot. This is my first professional photo shoot of a cosplay, so I kind of picked random things that I found online to use and prepare for. So I'm going to kind of give you my insight as to how I went about it, and hopefully everything will turn out good. So without further ado, let's finish this cosplay and get to the photo shoot on time. Let's get to building! So I left this hole open when I built this shield a while back and kind of had mixed feelings about whether to leave it open as like a peek window or as like a light from behind. So I asked you guys what you thought, and most of you said that there should definitely be an LED behind it. So I bought some LED pucks a while back. They're remote control operated, and I've used them on other projects and they work really well. So all I need to do is make it a snug fit, diffuse the light, and then make a cap for the back to cover up the acrylic plastic stuff. So I start by cutting a circle in some clear EVA and put it in. I cut a small strip of 2mm EVA to make the puck fit super snug inside. I want to be able to pull it out and change the batteries or replace it if I need to at some later date. Super gluing this in will pin the clear foam that I'm using to diffuse the light with. Now that the puck is secure, I need to build a cover so that it's less obvious that I have an LED light in the back of my Templar shield. So I'm just gonna build a quick little cap to go over the top out of some 4mm EVA. I cut everything to size as I go to make it nice and snug. It's literally just making a small cylinder. Just like with the puck, I want it to be able to pop off so that I can easily take it off. I add some details to match the theme by putting some rivets and layers on the side. At this point, I'm like, hey, why not use my laser cutter and etch something into it? So I'm going to go ahead and switch over and do some laser cutting on my Glowforge. I use a previous file that I had already kind of pieced together on parts. I believe this was like on the back shoulder of my Gorget. I simply just drop it into the Glowforge interface, size it to fit the puck with the spacing that I want on each side, and then add a cut line to the edge. If you didn't have a laser cutter, you could draw your image onto the material and use like a wood burner or carve it using a hobby knife. I need to kind of use this thing a little bit more so I can validate my purchase. I think my favorite thing about using this machine, other than obviously the results that come from it, is that nice robotic hum, like it's singing to me as it etches in something in seconds that would take me hours to do. Assembling it's pretty simple. I just like super glue it to the puck and then heat seal it a little bit to get it ready for paint. I love all the little details that I put all over my suit. I put a lot of thought and hours into the placement and what I put in certain places, so hopefully that this makes it something that really shouldn't go together look like it belongs. Two quick coats of Plasti Dip. Then to match the rest of my paint job, I just hit it with a quick dry brush of some Rub and Buff to pick up on those details that had been carved in. I went in with a paint pen and hit a few parts to kind of make them stand out a little bit further, and that's pretty much it for the cap. It's simple. I think from start to finish, this probably took me maybe an hour, if even that. Like, a big part of it was like literally waiting for paint to dry. Now, I had absolutely no idea how to go about doing the strapping for this for myself. I looked at a bunch of reference images from Google image searches and scoured the internet, and basically what I ended up with was probably the most simplest of solutions. I'm just going to put a strap on the top and somewhere in the middle and make those straps adjustable to fit onto a belt. So I first found some hardware that I don't know where I picked this stuff up from. It may be from old belts or some randomness, but basically I have some O-rings and then a couple adjustable slide buckles that I'm going to use to kind of pry those rings onto, and then that's going to kind of act as what holds it to the belt. I cut out some straps of black leather, cut away some parts of the foam so that it fits snug in between that little decal at the top, and basically just punch out a hole, use some Chicago screws, and call this part done. It really wasn't that hard to figure out, and I don't know why I procrastinated it, but I think it made it look super awesome, and it hugs well on my hip when positioned correctly on my belt. With about 2 hours to spare, I finished and got my stuff ready for the shoot. I'm sure I probably over-prepared for this, but better safe than sorry. The big tote has all the parts of my costume in it with the exception of the shield and the sword. I made a document of the types of poses that I wanted to kind of try and pull off that I shared with my photographer ahead of time and discussed what I wanted to try for. I also included a photo release form to get signed so that we were on the same page for what I was going to use the pictures for. I brought my own camera set up for behind the scenes stuff so that I could record what I was doing and what it looked like, and I had a couple other things packed. A Ziploc bag full of materials to fix my cosplay if it broke, a first aid kit since we'd be in the woods, along with like granola bars and jerky in case I got peckish, and enough water for my wife, my photographer, and myself. And lastly, I brought a change of clothes and some towels for the massive amount of sweating that I'm sure is about to happen. This is Julie. She works in the same school district as me and has a photography business that she does on the side for fun. We scouted out several areas around her and her husband's property, settling on 4 areas relatively close in proximity to each other. We're filming around like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and it was surprisingly a cool day here in Texas. It was about 60 degrees or so. Julie's rapport with her customers is just awesome. Using the post sheets, Julie helped me position myself and give me plenty of feedback as I go. I can barely hear with that helmet on, and I can't see more than like an inch or 2 out of my vision, and she was able to accommodate that. We communicated pretty well and it went pretty seamlessly. She would also show me images as we went to kind of get a feel for the direction I wanted and any tweaks that I needed to make or shots that I wanted to get that were in that same area, and it made the overall experience super awesome. We were outside for around 3 hours or so, and it felt like a few minutes, like time really did go by quick. I had over 20 reference images, some from Iron Man and the rest from like night images from paintings, films, and other people's cosplays. Some of the best stuff that we actually caught on the day was just ad-lib from the surroundings and the moments that we were in, which was pretty awesome. I have a feeling that she's probably going to be my go-to photographer for my cosplay builds going forward. It was so much fun to see all my hard work showcased in pictures by somebody who was just as excited as me to go through the process. All this footage was recorded by my amazing wife, who made things even easier for me. She helped keep an eye on my costume bits, fixed my hair, kept me hydrated, and gave us both feedback as we were working, pointing out certain things that we missed or didn't see. I'm so lucky that I have a spouse that supports my passion for prop making and helps me share it with all of you. She's been my ride or die for going on 25 years. Oh, this is nice. So I guess it's time to show you what we came up with, the end result. Time to shut up and let the photos speak for themselves. Maybe some cool copyright-free song over the top. Let's get it.
I wanna be the best in the game, invest in my name, check no restraints, I'm obsessed with the pain, I ingest, I retain, assess and I change, possessed by the thought I'll be free one day from society's restraints, money, clout and fame, mud, disease, a plague, we all love to hate, have to play the game, have to make a name, all our insecurities are on display. This is war with the enemy, think that it was meant to be, living in a time where disease is on every screen, I won't let them fester me, I know most are festering, negativity is a plague for the mentally weak, no mercy, all I got is working, never stop searching, never quench the thirsty, I'm toxic and psychotic, with this logic, you can't stop it, it's been chronic, since I was a boy, so neurotic and chaotic, go! To last with the way webs I'm weaving. I could change the past with all I'm achieving. Got my foot on gas, never stop competing. If you break like glass, then this life's gonna eat 'em. Make mistakes real fast, then you learn how to beat 'em. If you take off the cast, you can see all the healing. If the pain's in the past, move on from the grave and put your foot on the gas. No, never stop competing, yeah. I've been doing this, I'm on it. I just wanna be iconic. Sipping on a gin and tonic, got me going off when I'm on this topic, yeah. If I ever play, I want it. You know that I'm always honest. Stay away from those who are toxic. Keep them out your face, no way, you don't want them, yeah. Don't try to drain my energy. The enemy is everything. It's mentally, unhealthily, spreading like a rare disease. But I won't let it get to me. I don't need your therapy. I can leave a legacy of leading by intensity. Come on, we can fight this. Freedom is priceless. Spread just like a virus. Living in a crisis. Do you feel courageous? Do you seek greatness? Trust me, you can take it. Go on and take your aim. I'm built to last with the webs I'm weaving. I could change the past with all I'm achieving. Got my foot on gas, never stop competing. If you break like glass, then this life's gonna eat 'em. Make mistakes real fast, then you learn how to beat 'em. If you take off the cast, you can see all the healing. If the pain's in the past, move on from the grave and put your foot on the gas. No, never stop competing, yeah.
And we are finished. Today has definitely been an exhausting day, to say the least. I was not expecting to be this tired from taking pictures, but like holding poses and being covered head to toe, even in 60-degree weather, is still pretty sweat-tastic. So I could not have asked for a better day to take these pictures, and it was truly an experience that I'll definitely remember forever. Thank you to Julie May, who was my photographer. She's done tons and tons of like weddings and birthdays and all kinds of other events, but I think I was technically her first cosplay, and I am like future me projecting that I'm pretty certain that these pictures turned out awesome. She did an awesome job of directing me, telling me to turn my head a certain way, twist my wrist just to like. She had the most amazing rapport with me, and definitely made me feel like co-owner of the process. So definitely thank you to her. Thank you to my wife for helping us also. She helped me set up the camera and take the behind the scenes clips, as well as like making sure that my costume was in line and helping me fix my hair because I couldn't lift above my my elbows basically because of what, the costume I had on. So she definitely helped out a lot and made it a lot smoother and easier, and gave me the opportunity to share the whole experience with you guys as well. Thank you to Ben Eadie and Stephanie Chan for allowing me to showcase the amazing stuff that they offer over on Foam Armory, which was the scale mail and the chain mail that you see on my costume. All of that was donated to me by them to showcase what can be done with it, and I think it truly makes the entire cosplay build. It's some awesome stuff. If you've not gone and looked at it, you definitely should. But yeah, maybe you will try and make one of these cosplays yourselves, mashing up historical and fictional characters to make some amalgamation of randomness that hopefully makes it awesome. Very rarely do I ever feel good about taking a photo, and I'm feeling really good about this. So much so that I'm super pumped to go ahead and start the next one. So, yeah. Maybe you'll get some. Yay! And inevitably, they're gonna ask you, how'd you make that? You can give them one of these. Tell them, much props. This is some cool merch here that I got on. You can go to Teesprings and check it out, but Guess I'll catch you on the flippy flop. Peace out. If you enjoy what I do here on YouTube and want to see more awesome cosplays like this, please join these people listed here with me over on Patreon to build a bigger, better, more creative community together.